Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. It's the final stages of the Petroleum Industry Bill to become the all-encompassing industry statute by which the oil and gas industry will never remain the same for the positive progress, more profit and prosperity of Nigerians. The document was subjected to conventional public hearings where very introspective and commendable contributions were made. The NNPC, being the frontliner in this pursuit, was very articulate, saying among other things that the PIB will reset the industry. Find other comments in the details. The New Telegraph's Government Agency of the Year 2020 has emerged, and the award winner is also in the details. And yet, another commendation award winner for personal, individual, professional achievement goes to a member of the NNPC family who is down to earth, amazing of the downstream, and the jolly good fellow who bows out of active service. Plus, Dr. Mohammed Zango, NNPC MD Medical Services Limited, says the ongoing state-of-the-art NNPC medical facility, when completed, will be what you can call a one-stop medical destination. But before it's ready, here is what he advises us all to do. It's also in the details. Thanks for joining us. My name is Akin Agbejule. This is Oil and Gas Forum.
The PIB is one of our central pillars in our legislative agendas. It's so key, it's so significant and important to us in the 9th National Assembly, like the previous assemblies. Nigeria is blessed with these resources. We want Nigeria to benefit optimally from these resources. In fact, we are in a hurry.
Let's take responsibility to stop the spread of the virus. Wash your hands frequently with soap under running water for about 20 seconds. Or use a hand sanitizer where water and soap are not available. Cough or sneeze into a tissue and dispose properly. Or cough or sneeze into your elbow.
Avoid large gatherings. Keep physical contact to no less than 2 meters and wear a mask whenever you are in a public space.
Clean all surfaces frequently with disinfectants. And if you develop symptoms like frequent cough, sneezing, fever, or shortage of breath, call your state emergency number or NCDC's toll-free number on 0800 9700 0010. Take responsibility. Do it for yourself and the rest of us. This message is brought to you by the NCDC and funded by the NNPC IPPG team, an association of indigenous oil and gas producing companies.
The Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timipre Silva, has restated his preparedness and that of the agencies under the Ministry of Petroleum Resources to partner with the 9th National Assembly to ensure the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB, in order to stimulate economic growth in the country. He made this submission at the public hearing sessions on the Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB 2020, organized by the Senate Joint Committee on Petroleum Upstream, Gas and Downstream, and the House of Representatives Joint Committee on the PIB, which held respectively from 25 to 26 and 27 to 28 January 2021 in Abuja. Chief Silva said the proposed bill was subdivided into 5 sections, namely governance, administrative, host communities development, fiscal framework, and miscellaneous.
The bill is structured into 5 chapters as follows. Governance and institution, which contains provisions on how the petroleum industry will be regulated, the regulators, their duties, powers, and responsibilities. Administration, which contains provisions on the administration and management of acreages in different terrain. Host community development, which contains provisions on the comprehensive framework for ensuring that host communities in the areas of operation of petroleum activities will benefit therefrom. Petroleum Industry Fiscal Framework, which contains provisions on the applicable fiscal regimes across the petroleum value chain, and miscellaneous provisions on transitional provisions, repeals, interpretations, etc.
Speaking in a similar vein, the Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Malam Mele Kyari, said the PIB would reset the Nigerian oil and gas industry to reality mode and stimulate prosperity and progress.
This PIB will ensure that the local economy is developed, prosperity is brought back to this country, more people are taken out of poverty through the enabler effect of the oil and gas industry. As you are aware, Mr. Chairman, this industry is the industry that drives the rest of the industries. Once you do not have activity in the oil and gas industry, you have less of it elsewhere. And there's a direct relationship between revenues collected by other sectors of the economy with what happens in the oil and gas industry. This that we have today in the quickest possible manner to enable us to develop the midstream, which is what is lacking today, so that we have the processing facilities and also focusing more on gas development so that this country can make progress and we can bring back prosperity to this country.
On their part, the Senate President and Chairman of the 9th National Assembly, Senator Ahmad Lawan, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, promised to pass the PIB between April and May 2021 unfailingly in order to attract more investors and ensure a stable oil and gas industry in Nigeria.
Been working assiduously to get the bill passed this year, and I was a little bit specific when I said within the first quarter or April, May this year.
The outcome of this particular bill will determine a lot of things, because this is the foundation upon which our economy, the foundation upon which there's so much talked about diversification of the economy, will be made.
The efforts of the Malam Mele Kyari-led management of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) to entrench the culture of transparency in the system have begun to receive recognition, with the corporation named as the Government Agency of the Year 2020 Transparency by the New Telegraph newspaper. Presenting the award, the Managing Director and Editor-in-Chief of the New Telegraph, Mr. Ayodele Aminu, disclosed that the emergence of NNPC as the most transparent government agency in 2020 was based on the corporation's display of openness and accountability to the public in recent times.
The award generally is for recognizing people that are, by dint of their hard work, contributed to the growth of the economy, particularly and generally Nigeria as a whole. We gave as one of the most transparent agency of the government by opening their books to the public.
In his response to the award given to the corporation, the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari, said the corporation has since realized that it pays to be transparent and accountable at all times. He reiterated management's resolve to continue to drive the corporation along the trajectory of transparency, accountability, and performance excellence, TAPE, noting that the media's interest in the activities of the corporation and the oil and gas sector was a welcome development.
As a company, we know this will help us in doing more in line with our commitment to making sure that the shareholders know everything we are doing, and the general public and our partners are also aware that being transparent serves our best interest.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Malam Mele Kyari, has commended the former Chief Operating Officer Downstream, Ms. Laurentia Ndupu, for her dedication to service in a 35-year career in the corporation. The GMD gave the commendation at the send-off ceremony held for her upon retirement from the service of the nation's oil corporation.
All of us as a family, the only thing probably we'll miss is maybe you're not coming to work when we leave our homes. Otherwise, this family remains. It's part of us, and I will be with you.
In her remarks, Ms. Ndupu stated that the successes recorded by the downstream directorate of the corporation under her watch were possible mainly due to the support from the GMD and other members of NNPC top management.
Because we've worked as a team, everything has gone on well. That's what they call family. It's not just the work. We all became family. Please keep supporting MK, the GMD.
The send-off activities included a novelty golf tournament which was teed off by the celebrant, who was thereafter presented a trophy as the winner of the tournament.
In line with the performance excellence drive of the Malam Kyari-led management, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) is poised to leverage on the newly created Research, Technology and Innovation RTI division to become more relevant in the global oil and gas market. The Chief Innovation Officer, CIO of NNPC's RTI, Engineer Betty Ugonna, who disclosed this recently in Abuja, said innovation is a key element in the corporation's transition into an energy company of global excellence.
The objective of the establishment of this division is to champion a game-changing innovation across NNPC value chain and businesses.
Engineer Ugonna stated that research, technology, development, and innovation are very crucial in providing a wider and more sustainable means of energy resourcing for the world's growing population and its attendant demands.
RTI, as established by the top management of NNPC, is to ensure that every segment of the value chain of NNPC is entrenched into research, technology development, and innovation in order to take NNPC to the new or next valuable level.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has reiterated its commitment to the completion of its ongoing state-of-the-art medical facility that will improve Medicare in Nigeria and curb medical tourism. The Managing Director, NNPC Medical Services Limited, NMSL, Dr. Mohammed Zango, made this known during an interview with the Oil and Gas Forum crew in Abuja. According to him, the NNPC medical facility, when completed, will offer high-tech medical services to the public through the NNPC Health Maintenance Organization, HMO.
General heart surgery, open heart surgery, orthopedic surgery, neurology, neurosurgery, and all that, we normally refer out. But with the kind of equipment and the high-tech we are going to bring in, we are going to be doing them in-house. Our staff can actually benefit from them, and also we can sell it out to the public who can actually come into our facility through our HMO to get them instead of going out of the country.
Dr. Zango listed the medical services that will be provided at the NNPC medical facility to include services such as general open heart surgery, orthopedic surgery, neurosurgery, comprehensive radiodiagnostic, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, computerized tomography, CT scan, ultrasound, and digital X-ray.
Is to deliver high complex healthcare services. Services like comprehensive radiodiagnostic, because we're going to have MRI here, we're going to have CT scan, there will be ultrasound, we will have digital X-ray. So our focus would be to deliver these services that are not readily available.
Hello and welcome to the feedback segment of the program. My name is Julia Auta Ochibo. Energy transition is a pathway toward transformation of the global energy sector from fossil-based to zero-carbon-based energy. At its core is the need to put energy structures in place to reduce energy-related carbon dioxide emissions to limit the effects of climate change. Many developed countries have gone through some energy transition, while some are still experiencing some sort of transition, just like Nigeria. On today's edition, we are sampling views of Nigeria's preparedness for the energy transition phase in order to reduce carbon footprints.
NNPC is very ready for promoting transition fuel. This transition fuel is gas. Because when you use gas, you significantly reduce the amount of carbon emission. Because the carbon you emit with the use of coal is higher, crude oil is higher, but that of gas is much lower. So NNPC deliberately structured itself to promote the use of a transition fuel, which is gas. And the country also have been very, very supportive and aggressive in the use of gas in Nigeria. That is why last year, 2020, was declared as the year of gas. We aggressively want to make sure that Nigerians use gas for cooking, Nigerians use gas for generating their power, Nigerians use gas for driving their industries. We use gas as much as possible to generate electricity and so on.
They have good plan, and if they're able to pursue it very well, I think it will boost the use of gas in Nigeria. And particularly this AKK project that we run through Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, it is going to go a long way in ensuring that Nigerians have access to use of gas, both in the industry and both domestic.
It's not surprising that NNPC is in the lead with several projects like the AKK pipeline, then the auto gas policy, and other infrastructures that will make it possible for the gas to be utilized and for it to be commercially available for users.
The government through NNPC is actually made enough preparation. Why do I say that? Look at the recent launching of the gas project, for instance, the AKK, the Edo gas plant, and the AGPC, for instance. So for me, it's an indication that government are actually ready.
I'm aware of the FID on NLNG Train 7. We've also done the Jakuta Kano Kaduna gas pipeline project, the AKK. We've also had the National Gas Expansion Program, and very recently in December last year was the commissioning of the integrated gas facility and dispensing plants in Edo State. Well, we know that, of course, so much more programs would be rolled out in the coming days, but we expect to see the government really, kick-starting all these programs in earnest.
It will be recalled that even the Minister of State himself said the year 2020 was going to be a year of gas. And if you look at what NNPC did throughout that year, it just portrays the fact that they are working in that line. First, they took it from the NNLG Train 7 FID. They put that together, they took the lead and put that together.
From the various projects the NNPC have embarked on over the couple of months, one would say that the corporation is gearing towards the energy transition.
From the informed submissions, Nigeria, through the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), is putting all necessary infrastructure in place across the country to ensure the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions in line with the Climate Change Paris Agreement of 2015. And that's it on this segment. Please stay tuned for the other informative stories on this program.
Hello and welcome to this educative segment. My name is Abigail Ojobo. Did you know that Nigeria is an important partner and player in the natural gas markets? Did you know that natural gas accounts for 8.3% of the total energy consumption of Nigeria? Biomass such as wood accounts for 74% of total energy consumption in Nigeria. Did you also know that Nigeria's gas production has extended significantly since 2009 with annual growth rates of 8.5% from 25 billion cubic meters to 48 billion cubic meters in 2018? Did you know that Nigeria's gas production growth will continue in upcoming years and Nigeria's production will be tripled by 2050 to around 145 billion cubic meters? Now you know. Please don't go away. The program continues.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices climbed after industry data showed United States crude stockpiles fell unexpectedly, and China, the world's second biggest oil user, recorded its lowest daily rise in COVID-19 cases in more than 2 weeks. Brent crude futures climbed 39 cents or 0.7% to $56.30 per barrel, while the United States West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures rose 37 cents or 0.7% to $52.98 per barrel. The American Petroleum Institute (API) reported crude oil inventories in the United States, the world's biggest oil consumer, fell by 5.3 million barrels in the week to January 22, compared with analyst expectations. Meanwhile, the Market Intelligence Department of NNPC's London office reported that oil prices were little changed as rising COVID-19 deaths fed worries about the global oil demand outlook, but losses were capped by reports of a blast in Saudi Arabia. Prices edged up briefly after reports of a blast in Saudi Arabian capital Riyadh, although the cause was unclear. Oil prices were also supported by geopolitical tensions after 2 super tankers with crew members from Iran and China were seized in Indonesian waters near the island of Borneo for suspected illegal oil transfers. Equally, oil demand is definitely under pressure currently and will be for a while until lockdowns are lifted and COVID-19 infection speed slows down. And that's it on this segment of the program. I am Owigo Okolo.
For this public hearing and the outcome of this bill, we intend to pass this bill by April. That is the commitment we have made, and we will do it with every sense of responsibility without compromising the thoroughness of the work that will be done.
That's the Package for Oil and Gas Forum for this edition. Thanks for joining us. Most significant takeaway, if you ask me, is the PIB and momentum is gathering. Looking forward to it. On behalf of the NNPC, have yourself a delightsome week.